So again, we want to welcome those of you who are joining us now on the Skyward Network. We are interrupting programming this afternoon to bring you a special weather bulletin. A tornado outbreak is underway in the Flagstaff, Arizona area. We have a tornado watch that is in effect until 11 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. That will likely be extended just given the amount of tornadoes that have dropped so far today. And again, we are dealing with the biggest threat right now. The biggest area of rotation is just going to be off to the southwest of Flagstaff right now, where a tornado warning is in effect for south central Coconino County and east central Yavapai County in west central Arizona. That's going to be till 9:45 Mountain Standard Time. And right now we're looking at Parks. If you live in the town of Parks, you need to be seeking shelter immediately in the lowest floor of your building, the most interior part of your building. Hopefully that's a basement, if not a closet, a bathroom. Schools need to have their children in the centermost part of the building, likely in the hallways, up against the lockers, hands over their heads, protecting them from flying debris. Again, this is not something that we are going to take lightly at this point because we have confirmed damage in the Belmont area, which is just the northwest of Flagstaff. Confirmed tornado where we have several damage reports. Many businesses have been damaged. Many houses have been damaged. We have reports of trucks being overturned on Interstate 40. We have a train that has been derailed. So again, if you're driving on Interstate 40 heading into Flagstaff westbound, we want you to pull off the highway once you hit Flagstaff and wait this one out. These storms will eventually pass through the Flagstaff area. Flagstaff, you will be under the gun at some point, but we don't want people driving west of Flagstaff on I-40 at this point. That's where the real danger is. Most people are injured or killed in a vehicle or in a mobile home, something that can be easily tossed by these tornadoes. And again, we're seeing these tornadoes dropping rapidly and then dissipating rapidly, so we're not getting a lot of warning time on these tornadoes at this point. The atmosphere is really prime for a tornado to drop within any of these storms at this point. A lot of rotating going on in the upper and lower levels of the atmosphere at this point. So what we're seeing right now for the strongest storm is where we see this triangle here. It's called a tornado vortex signature, and that indicates to us that there's rotation, and we can see that rotation when we look at the winds. The wind part of the radar, the red indicates winds blowing towards our inner green away. You see some bright red, you see some green here, and where they collide like that, that's where we're seeing rotation, and that is where we see that triangle. And again, a tornado warning is issued for that area, and that's going to be a threat for the town of Parks. I don't see the Parks on radar here. This radar doesn't pick up all the towns, but I assume the Weather Service added them in in the storm's path for a reason. So again, if you live in Parks, you need to be taking cover. It's going to be west of Sedona. It will not be a Sedona threat. It will be more moving towards the northeast. I do believe if it held together, it would be a Flagstaff threat, but I'm not going to say that that's the storm that's going to hit Flagstaff at this point, as we're seeing these storms again pulse up and down. Another threat is this storm looking ever so stronger just to the south of Cottonwood, probably just to the east of Cottonwood. That's where we're going to be seeing that threat as this rotation intensifies here on radar. And we can clearly see, anytime you see these notches in the storms like this, those notches usually indicate inflow into the storm and rotation, and that's what we're definitely seeing. And we are definitely seeing confirmed tornadoes on the ground at this point. And again, this storm really is just grabbing my attention right now. If you live in Parks, you need to be in your storm shelter immediately. You can just clearly see the features of a supercell thunderstorm with classic signs of a tornado. You can see the classic signatures of a hook right there. You can see the tornado vortex signature, which, is the radar telling us, screaming at us that there's a tornado or there's something spinning, at least a funnel cloud in the area. You can clearly see where you see the pink in this centermost part of the storm. That's hail. So we're getting a good updraft and a good downdraft in this storm. And again, that's going to be just to the northwest of Sedona. Again, eventually this could be a Flagstaff threat. We're seeing these storms mostly move off to the north, but the whole entire line is slowly pushing east. So these storms, these tornadoes, are generally moving off to the northeast. And I'm not doing this to scare people, but the western sides of Flagstaff, the western suburbs, again, the areas that got hit earlier, the Belmont area, looks to be under the gun from this storm if it were to hold together. I'm not saying that's going to be the case, but again, Flagstaff, you do need to be prepared for for us to give you your call to action. Know what to do. Have a plan of action when that happens. We know you're not used to tornadoes. Again, centermost part of the building, away from windows. That's what we want you to do. Again, we're coming to you live on the Skyward Network. I'm Cerebral Brother, and that's Zach Tomaselli. It is the mid-morning hours in the Flagstaff, Arizona area. We're dealing